Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Paris Red Dragons Relocation franchise here on Madden 24. And we have made it to the all-important episode, the holy grail of all episodes in any franchise. It is the off-season. Last episode, we played the final game of the regular season against the Dallas Cowboys, who were fighting for the division. Now, it was unlikely, even if they would have beaten us, that they would have won it, but they would have been close because the Eagles and Giants both have 11 wins. The Cowboys have 10 wins. They could have gotten there and beaten, depending on what the tiebreakers were between them, they could have won the division and finished as the 2 seed instead of where they finished as the final team in as the 7 seed. So us beating the Dallas Cowboys last episode for our 3rd win in team history made them fall to the 7 seed. We almost knocked them out, but I think the team that they were battling against for that final playoff spot also lost, so then the Cowboys just got in anyway. So that is how the final game of the season ended. That's how our first season, our inaugural season, comes to a close. We finished 3-14 on the year. Not a great year. Not a great year, but hey, that's the way things go when you're a new team. We're in a new country, a new continent. So a lot of things changed. We got a new head coach, or at least we have an interim head coach that we're trying to decide on if we want to take the interim tag off and just give him the reins, or if we find a new head coach. I don't know. We'll take a look at that in this episode. But in today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at free agency, the rest of player negotiations, which means probably trading a few players. We're going to be doing, obviously, the NFL draft, which we have officially the #1 overall pick. And before the episode, I was going through, just throwing the first overall pick in the trade finder, taking a look at seeing what some of the offers were, and we were getting some pretty crazy offers. Now remember, I've been talking about so much in these past couple episodes, what were our plans with different formations of where the pick's going to fall. I talked about what if we had the 2nd pick, what if we had the 3rd pick, what if we have the 1st pick, which we end up having. So now our goal is to find out what that final mock draft says. If that final mock draft says that Matt Newton is going to be the #1 pick, then we have to probably think about taking him. We'll get to that in a second. But if it says that he's the 2nd or lower, then we can trade down, accumulate some more assets, and still pick up the guys that we need. We're also probably trading Terry McLaurin in today's video to get another 1st-round picks, or maybe even multiple 1st-round picks, and also hopefully getting Connor McLeod, the tight end stud, who looks like he's going to be a generational tight end. So that is our goal. If we come out of this episode with both a quarterback and the tight end McLeod, then I will think that it is the best outcome we could have possibly had. But also, I want to mention, before the video, I was going through the draft class one final time just to kind of see if I've missed any players, and I did find some secret gems down the board in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, maybe even in day 3 and the 5th and the 6th and the 7th rounds that we could snatch up. I don't know if their development traits are going to be anything. They probably are just going to be normal, but in a series like this, where we play every game and it's not just simulation, normal development doesn't matter as much because there's obviously more opportunities for you to get them upgraded and to get them dev trait possibilities, scenarios. So normal development still sucks because they start out lower than they could be, but in a series where you play every single game and you do all this more intense stuff than just a simulation like we do with like rebuilds, it doesn't suck as much because you have more opportunities to get them up. So that is interesting. We'll take a look at that when we get into the video. But it's the off-season episode. It's going to be super, super important. But first, we got to find out who's going to win the Super Bowl. It's Vikings-Chiefs. Let's get into the episode and see who is going to win the first Super Bowl in franchise or in the franchise's history. Here we are, right where we left off. Vikings and Chiefs in the Super Bowl playoff bracket. If you're curious, we took a look at this also at the end of last episode. Vikings beat the Niners, Chiefs beat the Titans to get to where they are right now. Also, we looked at stats for our team and for around the league at the end of last episode. So if you're curious about that, I'm not going to do it in this video. If you're curious about it, go back and watch last episode, and you can see what we did. It's the video about Najee Harris. So if you're curious about that, go to the end of the video and you can see the stats for the season, but we won't get into those in this episode. So let's simulate the week. We've got ourselves the Super Bowl. Who's going to win? I'm going to guess it's going to be the Chiefs who win the Super Bowl this year, just because it's the Chiefs. But the Vikings, I guess, have a good shot. I mean, they got here. But it is the Chiefs who win it. It's 35-28. And we get a few upgrades. It's probably going to be our, yeah, practice squad guys get upgraded. Good for them. And we have officially crossed into the first offseason in franchise history. Season recap. Mahomes is the MVP of both the Super Bowl and the league. We've got Zach Taylor, Coach of the Year. Saquon and Aaron Donald are your Players of the Year. And then Bijan and Will Anderson Jr. are the Rookies of the Year. So those are your top stats, top award winners for the first season. Retirements throughout the league and on our team possibly. Anybody of note? Mason Crosby, Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so this is funny. We traded for Aaron Rodgers a few weeks into the season, giving him Jacoby Brissett and a first-round pick and a couple other things, knowing that Aaron Rodgers possibly could retire, but also hoping that he wouldn't retire and he would be able to mentor our new rookie quarterback, whoever it may be. Unfortunately, he does retire, and I think the reason I say it's funny is because Aaron Rodgers threw, I think, 38 interceptions or 48 interceptions. It was some unbelievable number that I threw with Aaron Rodgers interception-wise. And I said when we were going over the stats last episode, I said I wouldn't blame Aaron Rodgers if he just retired because of the amount of interceptions I threw. And he does retire. So we lose Aaron Rodgers, and it looks like he's the only one off the team that is retiring. So that's interesting because now our rookie quarterback, I mean, I was going to start him anyway, but our rookie quarterback gets thrown into the fire, and we don't even have him yet. Robert Quinn and Roger Saffold. Brian Hoyer retires. Andy Dalton, Tyrod Taylor, Trent Williams is gone for the Niners, so that helps us out. That helps us out because I'm assuming we're going to play the Niners again this year. Brandon Graham retires. A lot of Dolphin, or actually not a lot of Dolphin, a lot of Eagle players, I should say. And wasn't that Lane Johnson? No, it wasn't Lane Johnson. I thought I saw Lane. Oh, it is that. Yeah, I don't know why I thought I saw him because I did see him. Lane Johnson retires only after 11 years. His body just can't handle it anymore. Some big Cardinal players, Carlos Dunlap and Ndamukong Suh, T.Y. Hilton, Mercedes Lewis after 18 seasons, which is pretty crazy, honestly. Out of all of these players, are there any Hall of Famers? Probably Aaron Rodgers, obviously. I mean, not he is a guaranteed Hall of Famer. Matt Ryan, do we think Matt Ryan makes the Hall of Fame? Pete Carroll obviously would make the Hall of Fame as a coach. Does Aaron Rodgers make the Hall of Fame? I don't know. Would Mason Crosby make it? Probably, maybe. I don't know. That's a risky one. Trent Williams probably makes the Hall of Fame. Nobody here. Maybe Dwayne Brown, but did he do enough? He didn't win anything really, unless he was probably on that Seahawks team that won the Super Bowl. Marcus Cannon doesn't. Calais Campbell, does he get it? Brandon Graham, Lane Johnson, did he play long enough? Andy Lee, does he get in just because he's one of the better punters in recent memory? Ndamukong Suh, does he get in? There's some names that are like teetering on the edge of possibly making a Hall of Fame run. But Aaron Rodgers for sure, first ballot. So that is interesting for here. And we can go through right now and show you. I added a lot of players to my favorite board. So obviously we've talked extensively on all these top guys, but I have added some new players. Most intriguingly is this man right here, Dom Clayton. I found him in the second to third round, and honestly, he looks about the same, maybe even better than Matt Newton does. And remember, Matt Newton is a round 1 to 2 talent, not a top 5 talent like Mac Bean probably is. But I mean, he's got mediums across, or he's got B's across the board with his accuracies. He's throw on the run A, so he's a 95% scout. If we can just figure out if his throw power is elite and his speed is elite, then Dom Clayton might be a better shout to get than even a Matt Newton type. I still like Matt Newton. I think he's probably our guy. But with his speed only being solid to good and his accuracies actually being a little bit worse, I don't know. I mean, his short accuracy in A, these two guys are right next to each other in terms of like where I'm thinking about taking. And we wouldn't have to spend as much to get Dom Clayton, unlike Matt Newton, where we have to spend a top 5 pick. It's going to be interesting, but I added a bunch of running backs that could be interesting late down the board. I added a couple receivers that could be good. Now, fully knowing these guys are probably going to be low overalls and normal development, but you never know. Maybe one of them has a development tree. That's the fun of the draft. I added a couple tight ends that could be freaks if we don't end up getting Connor McLeod, but I really want to get him. Some offensive linemen I added to the board that look kind of interesting in the day 3 area. Then we've got some D-tackle. Well, only one D-tackle. The D-tackle class was not strong at all. The linebackers are interesting. There's a lot more right outside linebackers that I'm more interested in than anything else. But there's a couple guys here that intrigue me. And then the corners and safety class. The secondary was not strong in this class either. It's mainly quarterbacks and some offensive linemen probably. And tight ends are pretty strong in this class too. Corners a little bit strong at the top half, but the depth is not there. And then I think the tackles might be a little bit strong, but pass rusher's not really that good. Like I said, the secondary's not great in the depth-wise, but I mean, Connor McLeod just looks like an unbelievable player. His acceleration's not great, but he just looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And he could be that big target that we need to pair alongside a couple other players like Calvin Ridley, Michael Thomas, to have one of these quarterbacks. Maybe we get both of them. I don't know. And then we can have ourselves a little bit of a quarterback battle in the upcoming episodes. That could be a possibility. But we got to figure out what we want to do with our staff. We fired, obviously, Ron Rivera, and it looks like Sean Church got fired, too. He was the guy that we just hired on that one-year deal, but he only got fired because we're taking the interim tag off. So Matt Eberflus, the Flus, got fired. Let me just go straight to head coaches. So Eberflus got fired. Frank Reich got fired. Pete Carroll, we know, retired. Josh McDaniels is fired. Salah's fired. Arthur Smith. And then they fired their interim coach. They must have fired Arthur Smith mid-season too, because he got fired. Gary Crawford did. And then they fired Bill Duncan, who replaced Pete Carroll. That doesn't make any sense, because he would have retired, but I don't know. So some interesting coaching names. Do we just stick with our guy, Sean Church, rehire him? Or do we sign a name brand, you could say? Do we go for a Josh McDaniels and try to run a Patriots-style offense with like the Patriots in the 2010s when they were starting to get back on top, back in the second part of the dynasty? We could run an offense like that. Because I don't know if I would run Raider playbooks. I don't know. We'd have to figure it out. But Josh McDaniels is an option. He's only 47 too, but we could also go back to Sean Church. It's going to be interesting. Or we could just try to hire Pete Carroll as our offensive coordinator. That's also something that can be attempted. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it can be attempted. Can I actually do the hiring now? I can't actually hire anybody. This is just telling me who got fired and who retired and all that stuff. Oh, it says that these are the new head coaches. Oh, for some reason it was telling me they were fired, but maybe I was reading that wrong. Maybe they're hired now. I don't know. But those are the 2 new head coaches. So can I not? Let me simulate a week, go into negotiations, and maybe that's when I can hire new coaches and stuff. But we've taken a look at the recap. We've taken a look at the retirements. Took a look at the staff and the players. So let's go to re-sign period. Move to the re-sign period. Mock draft number 3 is out. That's going to be crucial to see where everybody's starting to finalize. But obviously we still have 2 more after that. So if we go to the staff, can we hire new players now? We have Sean Church still as our head coach. But if I fire him, we could probably just get him back. But can I hire a new head coach? Who's here? Did they get signed? There's Ron Rivera, Frank Reich. So it looks like Josh McDaniels picked up a new job, but Frank Reich is here, and then obviously we have our guy Sean Church. Do we want Frank Reich? I think I might just stick with our guy Sean. I think that's just what I'm going to do. So we're going to hire back Sean Church, taking off the interim tag. He's our guy. Welcome back to the team. And we'll just keep the offensive defensive coordinators fine. I was going to have Josh McDaniels be the guy, but he's probably signed somewhere else now, so he wants to be a head coach. That's fine. We have taken the interim tag off of our guy, Sean, and he is now the full head coach of this Paris team. And it looks like Matt Newton has jumped to the #1 pick. That's not that good. Mac Bean actually has dropped. He's now number 6 to the Seattle Seahawks. Interesting. But that's not that good for us. I talked about how we probably want to trade the pick down to get even more assets. But if he's going to be the #1 pick, that makes it a little bit more difficult for us. Negotiations, we did re-sign Montez Sweat in last episode, so don't have to worry about that. We are going to pick up the option on Najee Harris and on Christian Darrisaw, even though he frustrated me this year by getting injured so much, and on Jamin Davis. But then everybody else, I could probably trade a bunch of these guys and get draft picks for them, because I don't really want to spend $30 million, the $30 million that we have on these guys that are not going to get anything. We're not going to get anything for. So I might just go and quickly do that, just accumulate a bunch of draft picks late in the rounds, because I can probably get some 4s, some 5s, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go and do this really quickly, and I will come back to you guys when I have traded all the guys that I don't really care about. So I'll see you guys after I get that done. Okay, so I've made the moves I needed to make. I've traded away most of the players I feel like I can get something for. There's just a couple other guys that I don't think are going to be worth anything, so they're just going to have to walk. But our draft pick capital now looks a little bit better. We now have 2 third-round picks, 2 fourth-round picks in this year's draft, plus our first and second. So I had a few more picks in this year's draft. Then we go into 2025. We have 2 4s, we have 2 5s, and then we add a few more picks into 2026. We get a 5 and 2 6s back. So we now have a little bit more capital to work with here. So don't worry too much about that. The draft picks are fine. We're sitting pretty good on the draft picks right now. We can now move into free agency. I did re-sign a couple players, actually. I re-signed Blake Cashman, and I re-signed, who was the other guy I re-signed? I re-signed Blake Cashman, and there was one other player that I tried to re-sign or re-sign. I can't remember. But now we have $26.5 million instead of the 30 that we were going to go into. But that's okay. They didn't cost that much. I think I got them on like 2-year deals. It wasn't that expensive. So we go into free agency with a little bit of money in our pockets. Let's see what's available. Jonathan Taylor. We don't need Jonathan Taylor because I'm fine with Najee and Brian Robinson Jr. So we can rock with that. Quarterbacks. It might be smart to bring in a quarterback just with a veteran tag, because all we have right now is Malik Cunningham and Sam Howell. So it might be smart to do something like that, like bring in a Marcus Mariota who can still get it done athletically, it looks like. Maybe that's a smart thing to do, and he probably wouldn't be too expensive. Running backs, like I said, I'm fine with who we have. And then we go to receiver. It would not be a bad idea to bring in a receiver. Maybe like an Odell Beckham. Is anybody offering Odell? I know he's old. Nobody's even offering him. 31 years old. That could be something interesting. There's Curtis Samuel, who we traded away earlier this year. I would not hate bringing in Odell Beckham to pair alongside Ridley and Michael Thomas and whoever else we get back. Tight end, probably is a good idea to bring one of them in just in case. I don't know. Not sure yet. Left tackle, we have Christian Darrisaw, but we don't have a backup because we're going to lose the rookie, Rasheed Walker. Not rookie, but we're going to use the young guy. He's going to be gone. There he is right there. So we probably do need a backup left tackle unless we draft one. See, the problem with having free agency first is I don't know what we're going to draft. And then I feel like I just wasted money on a guy that we're not going to use. Center, we probably do need to pick up a center in free agency, but there's just not that many good ones available. The offensive line class is not great here in free agency. On the defensive line, definitely need some depth here. I don't know what we are even going to get. There's not a whole lot of enticing offers, or options, I should say. Drew Tranquil wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Same thing with, like, Taki. Those two guys are options, I guess. Devin Bush, he's a fast middle linebacker. I would be more intrigued to get him, or maybe a Kenneth Murray, because these are along the same lines of speed. On the right side, there's not a whole lot here either. Corners, it wouldn't hurt to have another corner as well. We could bring in Bryce Hall and try to get him back to what he was with the Broken Barons. Free safeties. Probably do need a backup free safety, and then strong safeties. This class of free agents is not amazing. Jordan Fuller is interesting. I do like Jordan Fuller. Obviously, he's a Buckeye. Okay, so we need to figure out who our priority is going to be. Not a quarterback, unless it's going to be a backup like Marcus Mariota. Let's see. Odell. Is he the priority? Who's going to be the #1 guy? Do we want to try to outbid everybody for Damian Lewis? Is that really what we want to go for? Let me take a look at the team. Let me take a look at the team before we figure out what we're going to spend this money on. So if we go into our, not the roster, if we need depth, I know that. We don't have a lot of depth at certain positions. Like we were hurting on the defensive line this year when Chase Young and Montez Sweat were both out at the same time. So I know defensive line is certainly something we need depth for. But we also probably could use at least one more running back. Offensive line, we are very low. We have Daniels playing backup every single position. So offensive line at every position, we need a backup. Receiver, we have 4 that I like. But then obviously we're trading Terry McLaurin. Tight end, we need a lot of depth there. Defensive line, we need D tackles. We need defensive line in general. We just need bodies. So we just need bodies at every position, basically. That's what we need to focus on. So if we go into free agency plus the draft, we should be able to fill out our roster pretty well. So let's offer Mariota a contract. Not expensive. He's 30 years old. We'll offer him a 1-year deal. We'll drop this down to about $1 million, not $30 million, and we'll take his bonus down to about 1.5. He's not going to like that, but he's got no other options. So he better accept that. And then running back, I did mention we could use a running back, but I think I'm going to wait for my active negotiations to go down before we offer a running back, because we can get somebody down here that nobody's going to want. So receiver, Odell, want to offer Odell a contract. Not 3 years. I'll offer him a 1-year deal as well. Definitely not for $6 million. We'll offer him about 2.5. That's manageable. And then we'll offer him bonus, take that down a lot as well. We'll give him about 2.5 each for a season. He's not going to like that. Tight end we do need, but I think along the same lines, we'll go for a guy, Noah Fant, pair him alongside one of the tight ends we get, but 4-year deal, really? I'll do a 2-year deal and drop his bonus down. But a 3-year deal is not something I'm really interested in. So we have 3 active negotiations going on right now. We do need bodies. Damian Lewis would probably take all of our remaining money. Yeah, we'd have to outbid everybody. It would just take all of our money. So then center, guards. On the defensive line, we don't have a whole lot there that I want. We definitely need at least one more tackle. Excuse me. One more D tackle. Is it Devon Godshaw? Is that who we go for? He wants to be here. I don't really know. I do like the option of getting Sion Taki, because we have to. Tranquil doesn't want to be here, and we have to fight another team for him anyway. Devin Bush and Kenneth Murray are also on my board. I think Kenneth Murray's the more enticing offer because nobody wants him. So I can do a 3-year deal. I'm fine with that for Kenneth. But we'll drop his bonus down slightly and his money down slightly. That's 4 out of 5 negotiations. Right outside linebacker and then a corner. Maybe. Or a free safety. Adrian Amos at 31. He's not going to really play. Grant Delpit's an interesting one at strong safety. A 4-year deal for Grant. I don't really want to do that. I can do that, though. 3-year deal. He's not going to be happy. None of these guys are going to be happy with our offers. But that's why we're going for guys that nobody's interested in. And they're all a little bit older. Well, a couple of them are older. Let's do our first evaluation period. See if anyone signs. We got none of them to sign so far. And now people are interested in Odell. So we are going to withdraw our offer from Odell. Withdraw our offer from Noah Fant. And I don't want to overpay for Kenneth Murray. But I want Kenneth Murray. So we'll probably have to bump our offer up a little bit more on him. I can go 3.5, 3.5. That puts us above the line. So we'll probably get Kenneth Murray. Grant Delpit's still deciding, and nobody wants freaking dude, Marcus Mariota. So let's go to the running backs and find somebody that nobody wants, like Raheem the Dream, who's still super fast even though he's 32. We remember Raheem the Dream from the Cougars. He was pretty good in that one. We're probably going to need another receiver now that Odell's chosen another place. We could go for Chase Claypool. That could be pretty fun. 92 speed's not bad. I know he's got a bad rap, and he wants to be here. Chase Claypool might be the guy. I'll give him a 1-year prove-it deal. 2.5, 1.5. Maybe he accepts, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Let's do our second evaluation period. A couple guys are off the board. And a couple guys accepted. So Chase Claypool accepted that 1-year prove-it deal. And Kenneth Murray is now a Dragon. So we're still waiting on Delpit, on Raheem Mostert, and on Marcus Mariota. They might just not sign. Like that's also a possibility. They might just simply say, I'm good. I'd rather be a free agent than play for you for that little bit of money. I am intrigued by Greedy Williams. Kelly Witherspoon also. He's only 29. Maybe Burnt Toast. We could go for Burnt Toast. That'd be funny. But Greedy Williams is not a bad option. Maybe he turns into something. Plus, he kind of wants. No, he doesn't. Okay, it was Ronald Darby. I thought that Greedy Williams wanted to be here. I want to go for Burnt Toast. Give me Eli Apple. He's a Buckeye. I want him. So we have one more negotiation that we can use on Sion Takitaki. Let's use it on him. Although he's going to be super expensive. So we got to drop the money down a lot. He's not going to like it. But if we do that, maybe he'll accept. I guess we'll find out. Let's go back to the top 100 and then to our targeted board. One more evaluation period. And I don't think anybody else accepted. Oh, Raheem Mostert actually did accept. So we got a third string running back, which is nice. But now we're out of evaluation period, so all we can do is simulate the week and see if our money continues to drop. See if our cap space continues to drop. But let's go. Oh, we do have combine results, actually. I didn't notice that. We do have the combine results for some of our players. So if we go to the favorites board, how did he do in the combine? How did Connor McLeod do in the combine? He ran a 4.6 with 22 reps. He had the second best vertical. So we know officially that he has great speed. Or did we know that already? I can't remember. We probably knew that already. What did the two quarterbacks do at the combine? So Matt Newton has solid speed. He ran a 4.75, which is not super fast, but it's not slow by any means. What about Dom Clayton? Does he officially have elite speed? He only has grade speed, but he did run the fastest combine at a 4.5. And he's got great throw power, elite change of direction, elite acceleration. I'm thrown off, man. I am heavily debating taking Dom Clayton over Matt Newton. I don't know what to do. I don't know what the best idea is, the best move is. We found the fastest running back, Tyrone Haynes. He ran a 4.3 out of Texas A&M. Okay, I'm intrigued. There was a receiver that I was keeping an eye on because he was fast, I thought. Is it this guy? 4.4, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's not fast. What about, was it Marcus Pettis? One of these guys I was looking at because they had pretty good speed, or at least I thought they were gonna have pretty good speed. This guy has great speed. He ran a 4.3. What about Heath Warwick? 4.44. That's a lot of fours. All right, so we know a little bit about these guys. This quarterback situation is going to be very interesting. I have no idea what I'm going to do. Absolutely no idea. Oh, man. What am I going to do? We have mock draft number 4 out. Did he stay up? He does stay at number 1. It seems like he's going to be the number 1 overall pick, which really does make it even more difficult for me. I don't know what to do. I do not know what to do. Especially now that I found that other quarterback who honestly looks a little bit better. We have pro day results, and it looks like our money went down a little bit more, so somebody agreed. Who else agreed to our contract? Grant Delpit signed a contract. We're still waiting on Taki, Eli Apple, and Marcus Mariota. Cool. Very interesting. We can move to off-season part 3. And somebody else signed, because we have 6 million instead of 9 million. So it looks like Marcus Mariota is now a quarterback on the team. All right. I don't think we're going to get Taki or Eli Apple, but you never know. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. But we will go to free agency recap, and this is probably the final time that they can accept. Well, it is the final time that they can accept. And also, we get mock draft number 5. So we will know officially if Matt Newton is the number 1 pick, which I think he's going to be. And I think that everybody signed, because we have $930,000. So our signings, Taki does sign, Eli Apple signs. So everybody that we offered does eventually sign. I think that makes the team a little bit better. We add a little bit of depth around the team. That's nice. We go generate best lineup. We now have a 3rd string running back. We have Chase Claypool in there now. We have Marcus Mariota as our starter, but we're obviously going to take a quarterback. We didn't bring in a tight end, but that's okay. We don't have a tight end. And then on defense, we have Taki now, but I want Drew Sanders to play. Kenneth Murray and Cody Barton. Defensive line, corners with Eli Apple in there now. Hufunga and Grant Delpit, I like. Okay. We have more depth now. We definitely have more depth. And we don't have a kicker, so we're going to use one of our picks on a kicker. Actually, we don't have any low-round picks. I got rid of all my low-round picks, didn't I? If I go to the trade center, I might have to trade for like a 6th-round pick or something to take a kicker. Yeah, we have 2 4s. Those are our last 2 picks in this draft. So I might have to trade a player for a 6th-round pick or something just to get a... Maybe I could trade Malik Cunningham to get a kicker. I don't know. But this is probably the time where we trade Terry McLaurin. Probably. Mock draft number 5. Is he officially... He is. He's going to be the number 1 pick. He was not projected to be. It was going to be Mac Bean. Why did Mac Bean fall off? Why did Mac Bean have to fall off so bad? We also have our private workouts. This is going to be really big, really crucial in deciding who we know a little bit more about. Who do I want to use them on is the big question. Do I want to use one on a kicker? That could be really funny. Is this the guy that has the elite kick power? He has elite kick power. And elite agility. His accuracy is a B. Short accuracy is at least. What about Ty Davidson? He's 5'10". He's got elite kick power and elite strength. He honestly just looks better. His short accuracy is a D, but his kick accuracy is an A. And he's got elite kick power. Probably gonna go with him over anybody else. He's probably better than Ryan Stewart anyway. I think we have to use one on Dom Clayton just to know what his development or what his actual true talent is. So I'm going to use one on Dom Clayton. But what else? Who else do I want to use one on? Do I want to use one on one of these guys down here? We already know, obviously, about Connor McLeod. How good are these tight ends? Because if we give up on getting Connor McLeod and let him go somewhere else, that might be a little bit of a better thing in the end. Because there are some tight ends that look decently good down in the board a little bit. They don't look amazing by any means, but they don't look horrible. That's why I add them to the favorites board. I don't know who I want to spend that final private workout on. Maybe an outside linebacker? Or a corner? I only got this guy because he had elite jumping, and he's 6'5". That's why I put him on the board. Because he's a 6'5" corner. That really intrigued me. I don't think that is the go-to thing to do. Man, I do not know where to go with this final pick. I'm going to use one on Ty Davidson. I'm going to use one on Dom Clayton. And I'm going to use one on... I'm going to use one on one of the tight ends, I guess. We'll use it on... We already have 95% on DeAndre Walden. I could use it on him to find out if he's actually better than what a day 3 projection would be. Hold on. I know this is going to get rid of my stuff, but is this... He's got the great speed. Out of all the tight ends, is he the fastest? Great speed, elite strength. Nick Frost has great speed, good strength. And then Tim Washington. Elite. I think that DeAndre is the best, so we're gonna use it on him. So DeAndre Walden, Dom Clayton, and Ty Davidson. Those are gonna be my 3 guys. Man, I don't know about that, but I just want to know for sure the true talent of Dom Clayton, because then we can officially make our final choice on who we want to draft. This is gonna be a wild draft, man. This is one of the more intense drafts I've ever had, just because there's so many different options I could go with. So before we even go into the draft, we're gonna take a look at how good those guys actually are. What is Dom Clayton's official true talent? He's around 3 to 4. Why? Why is he around 3 to 4 true talent? He looks honestly better than Matt Newton does. He's faster than Matt Newton. He has better accuracies overall. He's got better acceleration. Why is he lower than... Oh, no! I hit the wrong button. I took him off the board. Where's he at? There he is. He looks better than what Matt Newton does. I mean, yeah, Matt Newton has elite throw power, but so did Dom Clayton. A awareness. His accuracies are not as good. He's only better because he has A short. The throw power is not as great for Dom Clayton. The awareness isn't as good. But he's got the same... He's got better throw on the run. I think he fits my play style better, honestly. I think he does fit my playstyle better. Because remember, I like to scramble around. So I need a guy that's a little bit faster, a little bit more mobile, and I think that Dom Clayton fits the more mobile tag than Clayton or than Newton does. He does have a better arm in terms of just throwing it, just straight arm power, arm strength. Man, that's a tough decision. That is a really tough decision. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. We got up to 90% on Ty Davidson. That's good. We're going to take him. He's going to be our new kicker. And then what did we find out about that tight end, DeAndres? He's a true round of 3 to 4, and they have him in day 3. I think he's going to be a little bit of a steal. He's not, like, amazing, but I think he's going to be good enough to take with, like, a 4th round pick or something. So, okay. Man, this is going to be tough. This is going to be really tough, really difficult to figure out what we want to do. But we got to get our quarterback, so. Terry McLaurin. If I just straight up offer Terry McLaurin, we can get Christian Gonzalez, a 1st round pick next year. Oh, wow, we can get some good stuff from the Patriots. But I don't really... I mean, I want Christian Gonzalez. But I don't really want a 1st round pick, only a 1st round pick next year. I want to get a 1st round pick this year too, which might be a little bit of a reach. The Bears have 2 1st round picks, so they probably would be willing to trade one of them, especially for giving them Terry McLaurin. But I also want to bring in a receiver too, so it's going to be tricky. I don't. My dream pick is 2 1st round picks, 1 this year, 1 next year, and a wide receiver. That's good. And I doubt that's going to happen. But that's my dream return for Terry McLaurin. And it looks like there's only a couple teams that have 2 1st round picks. So it might have to be the Bears. And the Bears don't really have a lot of wide receivers, do they? They have DJ Moore. But the Bears don't really have the picks or the receiver that I would want to bring back. And the Bucks were the other team. But the Bucks weren't. It was the Cardinals. The Cardinals don't have receivers, right? Do they? They have Rondale Moore, Marquise Brown, but they don't have anybody that I already traded with the Cardinals. They have Dimey Brown and Byron Pingle. That's who I traded with to get one of their draft picks. So it's going to have to be a team that only has 1 1st round pick this year. Is there a way we could send... Oh, wow. Is there a way we could send McLaurin, get Jalen Waddle, so if we get Jalen Waddle, their pick this year and their pick next year, this is the ideal trade situation. Is this possible? This would put their $29 million in salary in cap. What? Oh, Miami, you suck. So Miami's off the board because we can't do that. Is every team negative? Why does nobody know how to manage their cap? The Patriots are positive, but they don't have a receiver that I want. So trust me, they don't have a receiver I want. So bye-bye New England. Let's see. Nobody has cap room except for teams that don't have receivers. Why is there no team that has a receiver that I want? And the Bears have cap room. There is no team that has cap room. Why? What happened to all the cap room? Where did it go? Who are you spending your money on? No, everybody is negative except for a few teams around the league. That's crazy. That's honestly, I'm shocked that this is the spot that we're in right now. There's not much we can get Terry McLaurin for. Wow. Maybe I waited too late to trade him. Because when I was looking earlier before I started the video, he had a bunch of offers from a bunch of teams. So they must have just spent their money elsewhere and I waited too late. I think that's the problem. The only way that we could get anything back in return is if we got a receiver that's just making so much money, but then that would hurt us in the end. And I don't even know if it would go through. We'd have to probably give up so much. Like, we could trade for Keenan Allen, but he's making so much money that I don't want to do that. And he's not really going to be that good. Jalen Waddle, I felt like, was going to be the best option. Or maybe even Devonta Smith. But then again, that only clears up $14 million. Or that only makes them have $14 million. So they can't do that. That's why there's only 2 teams that are offering us God, we're probably going to have to keep Terry now. I mean, I want to keep Terry. Obviously, I like Terry McLaurin. But I was hoping we could get a second first-round pick by trading Terry McLaurin. But it looks like we're going to have to keep him for now because I must have waited too long. I must have waited too long. We're going to trade Malik Cunningham for a 7th-round pick or a 6th-round pick or something because who's got cap space? Where are the Bears at? There's the Bears. We're going to trade for a 6th-round pick to get that kicker. So Malik Cunningham goes to Chicago. He can learn from Justin Fields. We get a 6th-round pick to draft our kicker. Oh. Let's start the draft. All right, we are on the clock. The Red Dragons. Do we trade back or do we take our guy, Matt Newton? Man, I don't know. I honestly think, I know for a fact that Dom Clayton's not going to have a development trait, so we're going to go into this season with a normal development quarterback, and Matt Newton has a good chance of having star, but is Matt Newton better than Dom Clayton? Oh my God, I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. I honestly am so torn. I don't know what I can do. I don't know what the best move is. We can get both of the Bears' first-round picks this year. We can get 3 first-round picks from the Ravens, plus 2 seconds and a 4. That's ideal trade. We can get 2 first-round picks from the Rams, 3 from the Giants, 3 from the Falcons, and 3 from the Colts. So we could trade back to pick 7 and figure out what to do from there. Honestly, that's not that bad. We could trade with the Rams, and then if we don't like what's available, we could trade back again with a 7th pick. That might not be that bad of a deal. It's either going to be the Rams or the Ravens, but I think 15's a little too far. I'm gonna let the Rams take the first overall pick. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I can't make the decision, so we're gonna let the CPU make it. They're gonna take Matt Newton. By not making the decision, I've made the decision. First pick in the draft is Mac Bean. So he was projected to be the first-round pick in the beginning of the year. He falls off a cliff and is like the 9th projected pick, but he goes back up because the Rams got the quarterback they wanted. Is that a bust? We'll find out in the future. The Jets are up now. They take Dalvin Haywood. Remember, they don't have Aaron Rodgers. We don't have Aaron Rodgers. So they could have taken Matt Newton. The Jags are up next. They're not going to take Newton. He's got himself Demarius Jackson. The Patriots up next. They could be in line for a quarterback. They take Devon Hardison from Bama. We know that the Patriots are a Bama NFL team, just like the Eagles are a Georgia team. The Raiders are up next. They could be in line for a quarterback, and Matt Newton has found his spot. He will be taken by the Vegas Raiders. Finally, I thought he was going to fall to us at 7. That would have been insane. Now, this is the spot, I'm pretty sure, where our guy Connor McLeod's going to go. I have a feeling, a sneaky suspicion, that McLeod will fall or will get taken by the Seahawks. So we have to make our mind up right now. Do we want Connor McLeod? Is he the guy? Or what? What do we do? Because remember, we don't have another first round, like we didn't trade with the Bears, so we don't have 2 first round picks right now. If we were to trade up to get Connor McLeod, that'd be the only guy that we get in the first round. Or we could play it by ear and see if the Seahawks do take him, which I think they will. But now adding the Rams picks in, we have 2 first round picks next year, and we'll keep an eye on Mac Bean. But we have 2 first round picks next year and 2 seconds and another 4. So I've accumulated some draft picks back. Especially those 2 first round picks are going to be big. The depending on how the Rams play this year, but do we want to trade with the Seahawks? Up one spot to get Connor McLeod. Is he the guy? Is he the guy? What's it take to move up one spot? Oh, it's just first round pick for first round pick. We swap first round picks. We have the 6th overall pick. I'm taking Connor McLeod. He's gonna be our first round pick. I'm doing it. Connor McLeod, welcome to the Red Dragons. The first pick in franchise history is a 6'6" tight end from Florida State, 86 speed, 86 jumping, 87 acceleration, no, 87 agility, 83 acceleration, hidden development. He looks like a good player, man. And he's 6'6". He's going to be a big body alongside Logan Thomas. We got our guy. We got one of our guys. So that's our first round pick in this year's draft. The first ever pick in franchise history. Matt Shields goes to the Seahawks. Marquise Springs. Caleb McBath. I feel like there's going to be a run on corners pretty soon. There goes DeMarcus Greer. Abdul Hightower goes to Chicago. They take back-to-back with Cam Newby, who was the best left outside linebacker in the class. Jalen Branch goes. Right now it's going about to plan. I feel like there hasn't been really anything that's gone crazy. Ian Edgar, Lorenzo Butler's gone. Cole Bryan. Brian Armstead, Mike Benedict. Aaron Long. Aaron Long fell farther than I thought he would. He almost made it to us. We have the first pick in the 2nd round. Kerry Franks out of the Ohio State University. Kirk Riddick. Paul Worthy. Vikings take Mitch Cameron, quarterback. And then we've got the Chiefs taking Tracy Whitfield. So we are back up. We don't pick again until pick 30 of the 3rd round. So we have a little bit of a wait. Our guy's still on the board. Remember, he's round 2 to 3, though. Does he fall to round 3? Probably not. He probably goes a little bit earlier. Alfonso Finch was one of the guys initially that I was interested in at corner, but his man coverage isn't great and his press isn't great at all. So I don't know if I'm really in on him. So the running backs are still on the board. Remember, they're all day 3s, so we can get them later if we want. Still some tight ends on the board. Left tackles are on the board. Centers are on the board. A lot of guys are on the board that I'm interested in. So because they're only round 3 projections. Peter Penn. What a name. Could be good. He's got A power moves, C block, shed, B finesse, B tackle. Peter Penn doesn't look bad. We could also call him Peter Pan. I think I'm going to trade out of this pick as well. Try to get another 2nd round pick this year. A little bit later down the board. So we can actually pick up some firsts. But I'm not really wanting to do that. Titans have pick 62. Colts have pick 46. This is more along the lines of what I was thinking. That's not super down the board. I can't really pass up on a... first round pick though, can I? We could get 3 first round picks for next year. I'm going to do the trade with the Colts. Maybe I can finesse where I get a first and a second. Since this is basically like a first round pick. This is the first pick of the 2nd round. So this is kind of could be valued or seen as a first round pick. So maybe we could finesse our way into getting with the Colts. We could get the 2nd this year. We could get a first next year. And then maybe they add like a 5 alongside it. How's that? Then we throw in pick 33. They say not as put off as I thought they would be, honestly. I can give you I can give you a... I have a lot of 4s next year. I can give you a 4 next year. That's probably our 4. Okay, now we're talking a little bit. I can switch out for a 3rd, and I can give you... I could give them my 3rd in 2026. Don't really want to do that. I can give them another 4, or one of the 4s that I have. We're into the green. I could also give them a 4 from this year. How's that? Okay, we're into the green a little bit, but this, I'm giving a lot of back, but also I'm getting a 1st-round pick in 2025 as well. So I'm getting 3 1st-round picks. Let me think about this. Is there is there a team that has 2 1st-round picks this year? It is the Eagles. What about if I ask for this? What do they say to that? Oh, now we're talking. Remember, that Eagle pick is probably going to be bad because it's the Eagles. So if I throw in that 4th, trade off decline, but I could throw in something later like a 6 from 2026, and we could make that not happen, I guess. Another 6 from 2026? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay. What about if I take both those 6s away and give a 5 instead? Okay, then I add one of the 6s. So a 2 this year, trading back, for a 3 next year, a 4 next year, a 4 this year, and then a 5 and a 6 from 2026 for 2 seconds this year and a 1st next year. Trade accepted. Okay. I think that's good value for what we got. We only moved back 7 spots to pick 8. And now if we take a look at our draft capital, we have 3 1st-round picks in 2025, and we have 2 picks this year in the 2nd round, which is what I really wanted, so I can make more decisions. There we go. And we still have 2 3s. We have a 4. We have a 6. But we have 3 1st-round picks crucially next year, plus 2 seconds. 2026, not much anymore. But we can always get some picks back. Not a problem. Not a problem. We'll see who the Eagles take with the 1st pick in the 2nd round. They will take David Tanner, quarterback from Memphis. Then Isaiah Morris goes. Jags take Alfonso Finch. Peter Penn goes to the Patriots. Riley Middleton. Gabe Holcomb. And Keon Holmes. Okay, now we are up with our first of 2 2nd-round picks. And I think this is where we take the quarterback. I think this is where we take the quarterback because I don't want to miss out on him. So I'm going to take Dom Clayton right here with this 2nd-round pick. Welcome to the club. He does only have normal, which is what we were expecting him to have. But he's got 92 throw power, 87 speed, 91 change of direction, 88 agility, and 91 acceleration. That fits a lot more of my play style than what I'm assuming Matt Newton's going to have. And we'll take a look at him in the draft recap. But I think that Dom Clayton's going to be the better option in the long run. I really do. So Dom Clayton's our guy. Hopefully our new franchise quarterback. He is hopefully our new franchise quarterback. There goes a free safety. Kevin Jackson goes. Leslie Corbett. Luke Yarborough. Donovan Hurst. Peter Teague, Lance Logan, Dante Conway, Jermaine Green, Greg Riddle. I wish they'd show you more of the draft board than just the 1st round, like more of the mock draft, I mean, than just the 1st round, because I'd like to see where some of these guys are going in the 2nd round so I could maybe plan out my board a little bit more. But we are back up, and there goes Zane Nelson, the quarterback that was 1 spot higher than our guy. But we are back on the board. Obviously, our kickers are still there because they're not going to get drafted. But there are some running backs still left. There are some receivers left, some tight ends left. This is where we got to make some interesting decisions. Do we go offensive line here in the 2nd round? Do we go pass rusher? Do we go DeAndre Spencer? Is he fast? I think he was one of the fast guys that I got. He had great speed. Nothing special. Rashad Ingram, I think, was one that I was interested in because he was all around pretty good. And he still looks all around decent. But there was one guy that I really liked out of the linebacking room. But I can't find him anymore. Lamar Kerr has a zone coverage, which is intriguing. Good speed on Joe Rainey, but we don't know too much about him. Morgan McElroy, or McElroy. Did we look at Derek McClendon? I don't know if we did. He's got a tackling. Great speed. Oh, baby, baby, I don't know what to do. Marcus Pettis probably isn't the guy here in the second round. One of the running backs probably isn't the guy either. We can get the receivers in day 3, so we don't have to worry about that. We're not going to take a tight end with the 3rd pick that we have, so we're going to take probably an offensive lineman here in the second round. Is it Matt Pearman? He looks good physically. We don't know too much about him technically. Christian Slauson. He was like one of the better centers that I found. He doesn't look amazing. He's not second round material, I don't think. And then Tracy Tucker. I think that first guy, Matt Pearman, is probably the best option. What about Matthias Ortiz? I think we're going to go with Matt Pearman. I think he's going to be the guy that we take. He's probably the better option out of anybody that's here. So, Matt Pearman, welcome to the Paris Red Dragons. Hidden development, 87 strength. The drafting god stays alive. Okay. Matt Pearman. I don't know what his overall is going to be. Probably low 70s, but he's a second round pick now. And now we're getting to the point where we can skip straight to our pick. So we will skip to the 30th pick in the 3rd round, make our selection, and see what's on our draft board. We have 2 of these 3rd round picks. A couple running backs on the board. All the receivers are still here. A couple tight ends are left. And then, so all the linebackers are still here, and then the corner and the safety. What I think I'm going to do here is I'm probably going to take... Is this where we take one of the receivers? It might be a little bit of a reach, though. I don't really want to take one of the receivers unless they have elite speed. And none of them seem to have that. So, receivers are probably not the guys. Unless Antoine Drake is. He's got great speed. He ran a 4.3. That's still very fast. But I think we take the tight end. DeAntrez Walden. Oops. I think we take him as our 3rd round pick. One of our 3rd round picks. Now, he only has normal, but he's pretty much similar to what McClendon is. And now we have 2 options at tight end, plus Logan Thomas. And we have the pick right here, pick 32, to make another selection. And then we have pick 8 in the 4th round, or yeah, pick 8 in the 4th round, so we're still looking pretty good. And with this, I'm probably going to take a linebacker, is probably the move. It's just a matter of what linebacker I like the best. And it might be Rashad Ingram. Because I think he's just all around better than everybody else. He's got elite agility. His strength isn't good. What is he? His archetype? He's a pass coverage middle linebacker, which I do like. I'm going to take Rashad Ingram. Hidden development, 88 speed, 90 acceleration, 88 agility. Okay. That's a solid pickup. That's a solid pickup in the 3rd round. That's good value for a middle linebacker. I don't know what his overall is going to be. Probably pretty low, but I think that's pretty good value. And now we're here into the 4th round, and then I think our final pick is the 6th round. I don't think we have anything after that. What's left on the board for us? A lot of linebackers, corners, safeties. I think this safety might be the best option. Jermaine Weathers from Ohio State, the Ohio State University. He doesn't look great. He's probably normal development. But we do need safety depth because we brought in Grant Delpit, but we need somebody to back up Jartavius Martin. So that might be our guy. I guess I could take a linebacker and turn him into a safety. It's a possibility, I guess. The receivers that I have on the board just don't look that good. So I'm either gonna take one of these linebackers and turn him into a safety, or we're going to draft the safety. He doesn't look like a safety. Derek McClendon doesn't. Lamar Kerr could be a safety. He's got A zone coverage. He's 6'1", 233. That's a big safety. A zone coverage, B pursuit. His hit power is an F, though. Kind of want my safeties to pop people. What about Joe Rainey? 6'1", 232. Not super fast. We just don't know much about him in his coverages. So maybe the linebackers aren't the best option. Steve Hitchcock, 6'5". I only have him here because he's 6'5", but he does play pretty good press and man. I'm gonna take Steve Hitchcock, and he's hitting development. 6'5" corner, 89 speed, 93 jumping. For a 6'5", you probably should have higher than that. 89 acceleration, 85 change of direction. He can move for a 6'5" dude. Okay, so really, my only miss is the quarterback. With the other tight end. He had normal development too. But we're going to advance all the way to the 6th round. Pick 12. And we are going to take our kicker with this 6th round pick. Let me just check the board. And a lot of the guys actually are still on the board. But this is going to be our kicker. Ty Davidson. He's got the A on the kick accuracy, right? I could have sworn it said A kick accuracy, but it looks like we've gone away now. I don't know. But he's got elite kick power, elite strength, Ty Davidson, and he's got hidden development, 99 kick power. I just got a stud. And he's got 77 speed, 70 acceleration. He's pretty fast. But 99 kick power for Ty Davidson. He's 22 years old, but he looks like he has 2 mortgages. All right. We got ourselves our franchise kicker. And that's going to be my draft. That is going to be my draft. I'm not going to trade any more picks. Not going to trade up to get anybody that's probably a bust or something. So that is my draft. I think we did pretty good. We came away with the tight end that we wanted and a quarterback. Not the quarterback that we were initially thinking about. Connor McLeod is an 82. Wow. He's an 82. That's huge. That means he has a very good possibility of having X Factor right off the bat. Dom Clayton ends up being a 71. That's not necessarily a bad thing. 92 throw power. His accuracies are all pretty average, but he's got good throw on the run, which is exactly what I need. 87 speed, 91 agility. I think we made the right move. I'm going to take a look at Matt Newton, but I think we made the right move. Our left guard, Matt Pearman, is 72 overall. Ingram and Walden are 69s. Nice. Hitchcock, the corner, the 6'5 corner, he's a 71. And Ty Davidson is a 78 overall. What an insane pickup this guy was. 81 kick accuracy, so we will have to upgrade him on that. But 99 kick power, he's going to be kicking nukes. He's going to be kicking newts from Versailles. Let's take a look at the rest of the draft. Did we get the best player in the entire class? It's a good possibility we did. And we did! Connor McLeod is the best player in the draft at 82 overall. Aaron Long is an 80. Hardison's a 79. McBath actually is a 79 as well. And then we also got Davidson who's a 78. Where is the quarterback? He went number 8 overall. How good is Matt Newton? Or maybe he didn't go number 8 overall. Did he not go number 8 overall? I could have sworn he did. He went to the Raiders. Let's just go to the Raiders. I know he went to the Raiders. Where is he at? How good is... Oh, we can take a look at Mac Bean too. Mac Bean is a 75. He has a development trait. What is it? What is Mac Bean's development trait for the LA Rams? It is star. Okay. So it is star development. What about the Raiders? Matt Newton's a 74. So he's only 3 higher. He's only 3 overall higher. And he's a year older than our guy Dom Clayton. But what is his development trait? Only star. I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. Because our guy can get up to star at any time if he has a really good passing day. So, like, we don't really need to worry about that at all. I'm very happy with this draft. I'm very happy with the way that we drafted here. We got some much-needed position fills with the tight ends and quarterback. And we got some depth, which is exactly what we needed. We needed some big depth. So, I think that we really got better this offseason. I really do. I think we got so much better. We're going to do generate best lineup. Bring in all the new additions. Dom Clayton will be the starter. He will be the starter, and he will throw to Terry McLaurin, Michael Thomas, Christian Watson, Calvin Ridley, and maybe sometimes Chase Claypool. The offensive line looks a lot more deep, which is nice. And then we've got, on the defensive side of things, we've got Drew Sanders, who's going to start at outside linebacker. Barton is going to start at middle linebacker over Kenneth Murray. You know what I might do? I might switch to a 3-4 instead of a 4-3 so that we can play more linebackers because we don't still really have the depth at D-tackle. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I wonder if I can turn one of these corners into a safety. Probably not. It's fine. I think we're going to change. I'm going to go through the preseason, cut all the players that we need to cut, simulate all that so we can get ready for week 1 next episode. But I really think we had a good episode. I think we had a good offseason. We got better. I'm excited for the future of this team, especially with our new quarterback, Dom Clayton. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And that is going to do it for me. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.